Today, ECODirect will be conducting an experiment to see how 3 different nappies in the Australian market perform against each other. Our first nappy is the Moltex Eco Nappy. The second is another Eco brand, and the third is a conventional nappy. We're going to pour 300 ml of water onto each nappy to see how well they absorb, and this will be followed by another 300 ml. We'll pour the water onto the Moltex Eco Nappy first. Moltex Eco Nappies have been available in Europe for a very long time and were introduced into Australia 5 years ago as the first environmentally friendly nappy available at that time. We will now pour the same amount of water into our second brand of Eco Nappy. And for this experiment, all 3 nappies that we have chosen are for the weight range of a child of 7 to 18 kilos, which is the average weight for a toddler. And finally, we'll pour the same amount of water onto the conventional nappy. All 3 of the nappies that we have used in this experiment are considered to be the top of the range. Therefore, it will be interesting to see how they compare to each other in terms of absorption. We'll just let the water soak in a bit before adding another 300 ml onto each nappy, and give each nappy a stretch as a bit of a help for the water to distribute evenly. Now all the water appears to have been soaked into each nappy, which is great. So we will now pour in another 300 ml of water to test how they perform with a heavier load. The 2 Eco nappies that we have here have varying degrees of environmental credentials. The Moltex Eco nappies have a biodegradable outer and inner lining, and the packaging they come in is also 100% biodegradable. You can also compost the inner core of the Moltex Eco nappies. In addition, all the carbon emissions for the shipping of the Moltex nappies are offset through Greening Australia's Breathe Easy scheme, and a percentage of all sales in Australia are donated to Trees for Life. Now I'll just pour the last glass of water onto the conventional nappy before doing a test to see how well they have all absorbed. This is obviously quite a lot of liquid, even for overnight, but it will give us an idea of how well they all perform against each other. As part of this experiment, we hope to show you that you don't have to sacrifice on performance when choosing an eco-friendly nappy. First and foremost, the product has to be good for your child. That is, it has to work. Moltex Eco nappies work better than the rest and is better for our environment. Now, the water appears to have soaked in quite well, and both of these nappies have pads as part of their design, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the core in these samples. We often hear mums mention that part of the core of nappies that they used prior to Moltex comes through onto their baby's skin. Now we're just going to use some blotting paper and pushing down firmly on each nappy just to see how well the water has been absorbed. We've started with the Moltex nappies, as this was the first one that we poured the water in, and as you can see there is hardly any wetness appearing on the paper, which is great news for your child. And now we'll do the same with the other Eco nappy, and again press down quite firmly with the blotting paper. And as you can see, this one has not absorbed as well, leaving a lot of water on the paper, which potentially could be very irritating for your child. And now we'll do the same on the conventional nappy to see how well they perform. We'll press down firmly again. And as you can see, there is quite a bit of water on the paper again from the leading conventional nappy. In fact, some of the polyacrylic crystals which help absorb the moisture away from the baby's bottom have also come out on the blotting paper. This obviously means that it would also be on your baby's bottom, which could become very irritating. So as you can see from our experiment, the Moltex Eco Nappy is by far the most absorbent nappy available. It feels very dry to the touch, even now after 600 ml of water has been poured into it. It just goes to show that you do not have to compromise on quality when choosing an environmentally friendly nappy. You can be assured that when you choose Moltex Eco Nappies, you are choosing the best performance for your child and the highest eco credentials for their environment.